the issue is that it's kind of a generic model design, or not generic model design, but it's like generic model features.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the other problem is that they were in contact with her. They asked her if everything was right and they were willing to accommodate, but then she said, no, it's fine, I spoke to my model artist and I just don't want to hear about it anymore. And then she turns around and claps back or vents on social media, which brings a lot of negative attention their way. And then they're like, well, what the fuck? We talked about this and you said you didn't want to hear about it.
But I do understand Powder's side, because of course she's going to be worried as far as like how that branding maybe reflects on her.
Yeah.
But for her to act the way she did was just, that one hit girl.
Okay, so first it starts Powder saying, I'm an emotional and dramatic person, okay? So she's dropping hints that something's happening behind the scene. And I know this VTuber because they've done a good video on the VTuber community that I watched. And I liked her video. It was a good video. So that's how I came across this VTuber. They have a fairly decent Twitter. I don't know about their stream analytics though. 34,000 followers, pretty big. And then she starts hinting that there's been some trouble. Have you seen, which is censored? I think it resembles you a lot. And Powder replies, I've already tried talking to the other VTuber and artists about my discomfort, but there's not much more I can do. So it started with a few cryptic tweets saying I'm an emotional and dramatic person. And it escalates into this, saying, I just want to come out and say that I am aware that there is another VTuber in the space with a similar design, color, and well, lore name. I've already made efforts in the past to communicate with both artists and VTuber. Not much happened other than I was able to voice my concern. I understand that there is always a possibility of overlap in this oversaturated space, and I have found comfort in talking with my own artist and designer about the matter. With their advice, I am hoping to try and ignore it. Knowing what I know about the creation of the lookalike, I am disappointed. I do question ethics, but overall, there is only one Powder. I do not wish to bar people from inspiration, but I do wish people would be more creative. I want to also say that I do not take issues with the separate pieces of design, nor do I believe I own any particular thing. But when I notice it all combined, I get uncomfy, I get crazy thoughts in my head, guys, so this is me holding it back now. So, and then the Google Docs just dropped. I'm just trying to figure out what comes first. So she does this callout post. The VTuber in question responds. Now, I want to look at this VTuber and see how close they are. Oh, okay. So this is her new character sheet reveal. My name is Lily, a chilled out demon elf with a small obsession with mushrooms, baking, and video games. I'm so excited to share my new form with you all. What is Powder? It's her 3D debut. What's her outfit looking like? Okay, never mind. It's something else. Well, so Lily, the VTuber that's being accused of Copycat, is tweeting about this, saying, hi everyone, I haven't been online, but I've been made aware of the situation. Here's my response with receipts, and I apologize for any further concern anyone has. I do not condone any hate being spread on behalf of this. I hope this clears the air. So, I mean, for me, it's a very basic design. I want to thank you for your support. I've just been on vacation, and since certain parties have chosen to not post DMs, I will. I apologize if this is inconsiderate, but after seeing some comments and post defamation, both Cherry and I feel the need to defend myself. I hate drama and never wanted to be part of it. Both Cherry and I were contacted by Powder last year when I first revealed my redesign. We did attempt to accommodate and reason with her concerns, as well as fully explain our design process and my reasoning behind my lore. Her response to me not only disregarded everything that I had said, but had in my mind boiled down to, I don't believe you. I apologize, but I stood my ground, and after the matter was settled, I was blocked, and that was the end of that. Hey royalty, I don't want this to come across hostile by any means, but I have concerns with your design combined with the Lord Demon. It took me very long to come up with a design for my character, and my lore fits that with the demon term because I am a computer program, which is what a demon is. I'm just wondering, God damn it. I can't finish the screenshot. Hi Powder, I understand your concern and I hope I didn't offend you or upset you when I was coming up with a new design that I felt fit me more. I just knew I wanted an elf with long white hair since that's always what I have loved. I wanted to add horns because I thought they look cute. My favorite color is purple. Then I wanted like a streetwear tech wear style. This is what we came up with when coming up with the lore. I knew that demon is an old English way of spelling demon, and that sometimes the difference is that demons are good spirits and demons are bad. I honestly just enjoy the term and the history, so I went with demon elf. I follow you. There was zero thoughts in my mind that she had a similar design. Someone in her stream chat when she was finishing my reference sheet thought she was drawing you a new outfit. She was confused at first and I was worried, so then brought it up to me the next day and I felt super bad and discouraged that I felt like I was copying. After we talked about it, we truly felt like my design was original enough to move forward with it. I never meant any disrespect or ill will toward you. If you need proof of Sherry in my DMs, I will gladly pull them from. That was my entire thought process for my redesign. Like, I just look like an alternate you, bro. What the F? She follows me too, and I interact with you, so I don't think it's a stretch to say she knows of you. She's def been a thing with ears like that prior to design. I know specifically demon, but I get liking purple, but bro. I don't mean to sound rude, but I don't believe you about the motivation behind your lore. I just want to avoid these types of messages from mutuals, and I feel uncomfortable knowing you know of me during the design process and are moving forward. For my lore, it's a play on words and a nod to programmers because I look like a demon and I am a computer program. It wouldn't make me anxious if you looked more different or perhaps used different lore. The similarities did catch the eyes of others, so if anything in the future, if there are any comparisons, I hope they won't cause too much trouble. I wouldn't be so nervous if the design was so similar with the lore, but both of them at the same time raised my suspicions because my character and lore means a lot to me. Is there any room to wiggle on either of those things? Man, I'm getting flashback from the Roa accent thing. I feel like Powder went into this not wanting it to be a coincidence. She already had her mind made up, so it really doesn't matter what anyone says. Unless they change their design, it's bullying. Yeah, like, I mean, man, you can't come up... We can't have a really simple... I don't want to be rude, but it is like a fairly simple design. And you can't just copyright that. It's like cat girls can't copyright being cat girls, you know? Like a white-haired cat girl. There's a billion of them. Just like white-hair elf, there's a billion of them. Reminds me of the Shy Lily incident, and that's what I wanted to ask you guys. How do you guys feel like it differs from the Small Lola incident? Because in the Shy Lily Small Lola thing, everybody sided with Shy Lily against Small Lola, but this one, a lot of people are siding against Powder. But she does more things later on that makes it so people side against her. There is a bias against small VTubers, which is bad. That is true. Yeah, you don't own a general idea. I think it's because the Orca design can be done a lot of ways, so the similarities were more jarring. Okay, she says here, I'm more than willing to change demon to demon if that's more comfortable for you. I'm sorry that might not be the answer you wanted to hear. I never wanted to cause drama or cause any issues, so I hope me removing that aspect of my design lessens your worry. I don't get the whole demon thing. I've seen it spelled like that before. Is it really a new word? I appreciate you getting back to me. I appreciate the DMs being sent. It definitely sets off a lot of red flags. The design originally was going on to be a different color, and the mention of demon spelling wasn't until later when you posted it publicly. It saddens me that both you and the designer moved forward when speculating of looking a lot like me was raised, and you both convinced yourselves that it doesn't matter. I would not have known about this until a mutual had reached out about how closely related it is. That's Powder, but in a different outfit, is something I would be offended by as a person trying to create a unique OC in such a niche area like VTubing and paying money. It is my fault for not voicing my anxiety earlier. I will take responsibility. I thought it would be something to move past, but seeing my VTuber siblings and friends go through similar stuff and then growing the strength to say, hey, you know what? That is not okay and I feel weird. Help me grow some balls. Girl! Yeah, but after it's done, these things cost a lot of money. You should have said something from the start if you really wanted to. Now it's too late. It's done. I'm going to follow the advice of my peers and friends that if in the future I have to make a statement disconnecting us like Shoto did when he ran into this issue, Shoto ran into this issue. He's the most generic, like, visual story C character. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Shoto's look, but let's not kid ourselves that whenever they're like, you know, those visual stories where there's like a harem of girls, the guy always looks like Shoto. What was the copyright thing that there was another like emo looking boy with dark black hair? What? What? Yo. Okay, so it seems like they ended on nice terms, but clearly it isn't. And frankly, I'm gonna do a little bit of a rant here, but I'm so sick of the people that are being passive aggressive and they're speaking in polite tones, quote unquote, and that's supposed to make it okay. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't. So Sherry is the artist of Powder. So Powder had contacted Sherry prior to contacting me. I was unaware of this until I messaged Sherry the first time Powder DM'd me. Sherry had explained her process and reasoning throughout, only to be left on read. 3 months later, after no response, Cherry did end up reaching out to her again while she was creating my model and had asked if she felt uncomfortable in any way and if she wishes the change to be made and we would accommodate. Her response was that after talking with the artist and designer, she did not want to see anything about my design or models or progress after that. There were no changes asked to be made or anything of the sort, and she just didn't want to see any updates on the matter, so the conversation ended. Honestly, there's another aspect to this that's rarely spoken about, but we know a lot about VTubers because obviously I study a lot of different VTubers and we're in the know about the scene. But there's a large portion of people that are getting VTuber models, especially for the first time, that, for example, one of my friend, like Yam Alba, she does educative, like, VTuber design videos. So she has a lot of VTuber noobs in her community. And the VTuber noobs, they don't know anything. Like, they don't know how to find an artist. They don't know how to find a rigger. And when they do, they're just like, I don't know, I just want to look like that person. And they have, like, one inspiration. And they'll point to that. So maybe that's what happened. I'm not too sure. So I don't believe he was crushing. I didn't know how to respond and honestly felt offended that my efforts weren't enough for her. I do admit that I stood my ground, was a bit stubborn because I love my design and the time and effort Cherry had put in it. It was a shame to disregard her effort and to change my preference in order to please someone. Both Cherry and I were disheartened by this, and I wish there was a way to make amends. I'm not sure I want to associate with Powder and her community at all, and suddenly that she made a post without proper receipt and had made it out to feel like Cherry and I are awful people who didn't even try to accommodate. I personally do not feel any resentment or hate towards anyone who has lashed out. I just ask that if you're going to lash out at someone, please direct your anger at me and not any of the artists who had been involved in the design model making process. Now, my only doubt here is because, again, I'm like the hawk that is watching over everything, over the VTubing community, and I see everything. And I see Powder has had some disagreeable takes in the past, or disagreeable to me because it felt like she was playing into drama a lot. And that, for me, every time you engage in drama, you lose a little bit of credibility for me. But that's just my own opinion. So going into this, I was like, more drama involving this VTuber. It does feel like punching down and bullying. And this girl is nearly not as big as Powder, so why is she so threatened? Comes off as insecure? Yeah. Hi Cherry, thank you for being so kind to me. Upon seeing some of the DMs, it does make me sad that the original design requested was to be red and the addition of purple wasn't until later. Also, the mention of looking like me, and the addition of purple wasn't until later. Also, the mention of looking like me and you both not caring how that would affect someone does raise a lot of red flags for me. I do believe that in the future, if we get confused together, I'll have to say something about not being associated. I got some advice from fellow VTubers and friends on how to approach it because they shared the same looks like Powder in an alt outfit as both you and the client felt the similarities too. Seeing my VTuber siblings and other VTubers struggle with similar situation helped me realize, hey, that's not okay, and people helping them navigate that with other designers who were making similar designs, so I felt more validated in my concerns. This is why you shouldn't hang with yes men. But at the same time, you fuckers always agree with me, and my mods too, man. Sometimes I just wish people would be yes men around me. Sometimes I'm okay with it, because I'm like, hey, I don't get piped up you know, by the people around me, the call out people. Instead, my mods are like, don't become a lolcow, Rima. You'll become like Hassan, Rima. Don't do that. Or they laugh at me and things like that. But you know what? Maybe it's for the best after all. The reason I didn't go ahead with a main red color scheme started from the eye color. Okay, because the color scheme also, I'm curious about that. I'm curious about their process here. So Royalty's first character design had white hair and red eyes, and as the new designer, I wanted to use new colors and not copy everything from the past design. And then from there, I just wasn't really sure how to incorporate red and purple together. I didn't really like the idea of the red and purple combination. Then when I presented the colors that I thought might look nicest overall, black, white, purple, 3 of the colors she requested for, she was really happy with the outcome. And the part where we realized the colors are similar to yours, I really do want to convey that it's not that we didn't think it would be harmful for you, Royalty, but we truly thought it could be passed off. I mentioned before, but I truly think the only very similar aspect is the horns. But disregarding the horns, I feel it's a bit of a stretch to say that it's Powder's alt outfit. If anything, it could also be Amelia from ReZero's casual outfit too. I hope I'm getting across some ideas. Once again, I really don't want to put down your concerns just because I didn't mean it. But I think for now it might be good to wait until the VTuber model is complete. If by then it looks similar, I will take the responsibility of making any changes to make sure that won't be the case. Hey Powder, I just want to quickly message you. I've recently started Royalty's model and I remember mentioning showing it for you to make sure there is no similarities that could potentially make you feel uncomfortable. I have attached your whip. If there's anything that concerns you, please don't hesitate. Let me know. Hi Cherry, thanks for reaching out to me. I spoke with my OC designer and Cure about it. I got their feedbacks on the matter. They gave me a good insight and opinion about it. I think it's best if I no longer see any updates about the model or the design moving forward. I appreciate you following though. Okay. So that should be settled, no? I mean, at the same time, she is contacting them to play a little bit of devil's advocate. She is contacting them. They're explaining their process, yes, but they're not really willing to bulge or change anything. But she could have asked for some changes, but she didn't. So this is for the daemon thing. I think in multitasking computer operating systems, a daemon is a computer program that runs as a background process rather than being under the direct control of an interactive user. So Powder is using it this way, and Royalty is using it in the old way. I chose the spelling demon because I thought it was cool and I enjoyed the history of the world. It's a Latin word used by Greeks to reference the demons in religion and mythology. But then she said that she was going to change it, and then she didn't, which is my issue with it here. Yeah, you can't say it doesn't make the post though. That is weird. Oh, Ilara said she's gonna jump on the stream. I want her to ask some question. Let me know when I can call you. So I can make a little woodboard. My current host is a space elf and I love her, but I'm outgrowing her a bit, you know? So in my head, I see demon elf, long white hair, red eyes, oni horns, big old elf ears, little fangs. Why didn't I just do it white and red though? White and red is so nice. Maybe dangly crystal earrings for the lobes. Big fan of tattoo. Here's a small update with some coloring. I really like that color. I actually really like the purple. So Cherry was the one who decided not to use the red. Okay, I'm just gonna finish reading the doc, then I'll call Illyra. I like the dreamy colors. I did some progress for the ref sheet. I think I'm finished with the headshot. Today I just realized that there is a VTuber that might have similar color palette to yours called Powder. I wonder if you know her. It's basically the white plus purple color and the horns. I thought I would let you know just in case you feel a little uncomfy with that. Of course, if you are like the colors right now, then you should absolutely keep it. No one shows colors combos. Cherry did purple, not red, which I do agree is different than what she asked, but I believe the artist said she wanted to try something different than Lily's old design, which was red. Yeah, she did say that. Powder makes a side-by-side later. I do know her, I follow her, but I don't really keep up for content. We do look pretty similar. I love the color palette and think we have a different design, so I'm not really worried about it. If you think there's a way to make my design more unique, that would be cool. We can go for it. Like, we could always add more colors if all the blacks is drowning her out. I feel like I can be super bland with character design sometimes because I just like to feel comfy, cozy, sparkly. We could add more mushrooms. Man, the last thing I want is for someone to mistake me for Powder, I guess, which might be unavoidable. I didn't think once about her design or anything while we're creating my OC. I mean, at the same time, maybe you should make sure that it doesn't look similar, no? If you're asking yourself those questions. I don't think it was made on purpose, but I think it's good to try to differentiate yourself as much as possible if you can. If you've already raised those concerns. Like yeah, they didn't know what they wanted for sure. I had like not a similar problem, but okay, she looks a little bit like Powder here, I'll have to agree. There was a fan art that I commissioned where I wanted a mascot, and my artist misunderstood and sort of mistook the mascot inspiration that I had sent them for reference, and they almost copied the mascot of another VTuber. And I was like, it created a big fight with me and the artist because I was like, I can't release this like this. There's just no way. There's just no way that I don't want to take this risk. It's not worth it. So I was like, you know, I'll pay you more, but please redo the mascot. And so they redid it. And I even had like other people, because the artist didn't want to do big enough changes like I requested to really differentiate myself from the mascot. So other people edited the mascot for me so it would be different enough. But that's just not a risk that I was willing to take. And I think it's better to be safe than sorry. So now Powder has done a response to this Google Doc. Wait, actually, Sherry also has tweeted the same screenshot saying, you know, regarding the recent issue, all I can really say is we tried our best to end on amicable terms, and I'm incredibly disappointed in Powder for making it look like we blew her off when she herself is the one who closed the case months ago. She purposely left this info out when she decided to publicly vent about it so that she can appear more as the victim, and in mode that speaks volume. And it's the same screenshots we've seen earlier where Powder tells them that she doesn't want to see updates about it. And Powder responded to all of that with this. Expand your world a little more. Cosmic Elf Queen Lily arrives on Earth. Oh, okay, so she's changed her lore. Red eyes, only horns, big old elf ears. Would be neat if the tip of her ears, horn, nails were red as well, almost like stained. Demon elf, demon VTuber. That's the side by side. Ears down, ears tilted, horns. The horns are tilted. They're purple. Purple eyes. You know, she's got more bouncy, like, hair with a side sweep. And she's got like the soft shaded lips too, but her bodysuit is way more, I mean, it's more white and more covered. Not the same, they seem similar but not really. Yeah, that's my color palette. Maybe I should say something. She even has the Rima pendant. Hold up, same color palette and the same pendant. What the fuck? Hold up, I'm butting in there. Hell nah. Okay, I'm gonna call Elara. Elara?
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good, girly. How are you?
I'm good. I hope this isn't too late for you. I know you wake up early.
Oh my god, no, you're fine. I was really just video editing earlier, so like this was the perfect time. I was like, oh my god, you know, I'm pretty much done with what I need to for the night, so
nice.
Literally perfect time.
You're non-stop grinding.
Yeah, you know how it goes. You are too.
Yeah, I try.
It'd be that way.
Yeah. Dude, so you had Powder on your stream this morning?
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because I wasn't really playing, like I was covering the topic. Powder's like kind of like a regular in my stream, and she was just there and we were talking about it, and I was like, do you want to just get in a call and just like hash this out?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. Hi chat, how are you? Yeah, she was like, yeah, let's hop in a call. And I mean, we talked for like 3 hours. I mean, we went through everything. So
okay. And what's your
yeah, so ask away. Well, I mean, I guess I should state my opinion on the matter. I don't think that the models are alike enough for this to be the issue that it is. I think it's blown way out of proportion. I really think that, unfortunately, Powder came across very bad in this. She looks very kind of like, almost like high school-esque, adding them in the little video that she made.
Yeah, the video was optic L on her part, or it wasn't well received at all from what I'm seeing from the response.
It was not a good look for her at all. That's for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't. Now, I mean, I do see her concerns, and especially since the conversation wasn't really productive. Like, yes, everybody was nice in the conversation, but at the end of the day, even if you are using a polite tone and whatever, and you're being, you know, very polite, it doesn't change kind of what you're saying.
Well, I know they had this big like back and forth, right? And there was a lot of that messaging, and you know, she did ask for them to change stuff, and ultimately, like at the end of the day, Lily technically doesn't owe you anything to have to
True.
change her design, right?
Oh yeah, you're
Like, I mean,
yeah.
if she wants to be accommodating, she can, but she doesn't have to be accommodating, right? I mean, I do get where Powder is coming from, because looking at the timeline, it's like, okay, this person followed you, you know, very similar, like color palette, very similar, like the horns and the ears are like a little similar, right?
And
There
the
are, like, a
face
few
shape.
things.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So like there's a few things where you kind of go, okay, you know, maybe that's like just a coincidence, right? But ultimately, I think just at the end of the day, like to me, I really feel like Lily looks like Powder's cousin or something, right? Like
Yeah.
just like a distant relative. But I do understand
Mhm.
Powder's side, because of course she's going to be worried as far as like how that branding maybe reflects on her.
Yeah.
But for her to act the way she did was just that one hit girl.
I guess just, yeah, I'll give her the same advice I gave to other colleagues that ran into copycat problem. It's just like, don't address it on social media and stop talking about it. It sucks, but you just gotta find ways to differentiate yourself with your content, and just keep on striving to do better things. Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you know, you're exactly right. Like, they should be. I don't know if you've ever played the Sonic and Shadow games, but it's like you're the faker, or like just let them like do their own thing in their own space, right? Like, you don't have to blow it up in anything. Like, you're gonna shine. Like, do you?
yeah, it's kind of like if Shy Lily was attacking Small Lola in that
Right.
thing. So it would feel like she's punching down, and it would also be like, why does it matter? Shy Lily is so big, her design is so recognizable that, you know, it's probably just the other person that's hurting their brand more than her. It's just unnecessary. It's, yeah.
Yeah, Corbin, you're absolutely right. And being very ingrained in that situation, interviewing Small Lola,
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But I do want to say that, like, this situation is not that at all, right? Because the Small Lola stuff, like, kind of extended to an extra degree where there was more involvement than just the look, right? There
Yeah,
was
there
the
were,
accent,
yeah.
the logo, and all that other stuff, right? But
Yeah.
with this one, it's just kind of just the model.
Yeah, the accent, it was like brand hijacking almost.
Right, it really was.
Yeah.
I'm probably like forgetting, so maybe if you just ask me questions, I might remember what I wanted to say to you about everything that happened.
I don't even know. Like, what else there to say? Fuck it. Is she gonna? What does she think about her response? Did she say something about the video she posted?
Yeah, so pretty much she said, like, kind of going through it, she's like, she doesn't feel that, or she still feels like that Lily copied her, which I was like, I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I don't think I can change your mind. But she did say that when she made that post, she admitted, she was like, look, it was meant to be spiteful. It was meant to be, you know, snarky. Like, I admit that. And I see how this is not a good look. It's not a good thing, right? So some harassment has gone Lily's way, because people, not necessarily Powder's community, but people that support Powder are, you know, starting to kind of go after Lily, right? So I just said to her, I was like, hey, look, like, I think it's much better for you to just at least like apologize and just make sure that you state that, hey, like, harassment is not okay and you don't condone any harassment, because unfortunately, whether you meant it or not, it's still happening, right? So, and it's stemming from your post.
Yeah, I think the fuck. I mean, the issue is that it's kind of a generic model design, or not generic model design, but it's like generic model features.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the other problem is that they were in contact with her. They asked her if everything was right and they were willing to accommodate, but then she said, no, it's fine. I spoke to my model artist and I just don't want to hear about it anymore. And then she turns around and claps back or vents on social media, which brings a lot of negative attention their way. And then they're like, well, what the fuck? We talked about this and you said you didn't want to hear about it.
Yeah, it was. I think what really stemmed it was just that Lily had made her post where she showed her model. So you could see her old model and everything. She did the little silhouette thing that every VTuber does.
Yeah.
And once she hit it, Powder, like a few hours later, made a post. What she said was it wasn't the clap back at that post. It just happened to be a few hours later that she was fake posting about it, right? So that's where Lily decided to post her document because she thought Powder was trying to like do a call out, which she kind of was because she was fake posting, right? But yeah, literally, it's just like you just couldn't quite leave it alone, could you?
Jeez. I wonder how, I don't know. I wonder how Iron Mouse what Iron Mouse would do if there was somebody that heavily inspired their VTuber model from hers. That probably happens a lot.
I'm sure it's probably like how Shy Lily dealt with it. You know, it's just very much like, hey, I'm aware of this, but I'm not really gonna like say or do anything about it unless it blows up to like this huge proportion, right? But really, like, I'm sure people do it all the time. It's better just to do your own thing, to be your own self, like, thrive in your own space. You don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to worry so much about what other people are doing.
Wait,
yeah, I saw that.
This person is saying she's promoting drug usage addiction as a cute team. About me, I'm a demon VTuber, a computer program. The little guy is junkie. He is made of dust and cocaine. He's our mascot.
I really thought this was like a weird reach. Or like, you're promoting drug addiction. I'm like, I don't know about that. It's a little weird, but like,
that's so funny. Silly bonus: the amount of people I have experienced online that use the term demon as a sub for demon is super funny. I didn't even know demon was a tech term because of the internet edgelords that have been using it for a decade. Yeah, I didn't know about that too.
I didn't know either. Everybody had to tell me what it was for, which I think it's really creative on like Powder's part. I like that little correlation. I think it's cute, but yeah, I had no idea what that meant until today either. It was just like Chad tried to tell me and I had to look it up.
Well, I did look at Lily's design and think, wow, she and Powder do look similar. Handling the situation like this is tacky. Having your design... Dude, what do you feel about the constant drama, especially when it comes... well, related to art and other just outings every single day? There's something. I don't know if there's more lately or what is going on.
I don't know. I felt like it was going like to Walmart today. It was like a 2-for-1 special with art. You get Kevin, then you get this. I'm like, oh my god! Like, I didn't want the buy one get one free special. I only wanted one thing to talk about on news today.
That is such a good comparison. She said, "We're going to Walmart." Yeah, we're having a drama clearance sale.
Yeah, and it's all art related today. It was.
Oh my god! And the other day we and the other day we had 3 Google Docs, and yesterday we have Tyga suspended. Oh my god!
That's crazy. I didn't even get to cover that today because I spent 3 hours with Powder.
Yeah,
like all of my news went to Powder, which I don't mind. It was a very good conversation I had by far. It was just like, this was not my on my 2024 bingo list. That's for sure.
No, me neither. Maybe one day people will learn to like clear things out in DMs, which I mean, I guess they tried to do, but for some reason didn't work. As soon as somebody's got to milk.
Yeah, I very much told Powder, I'm like, because I went through her document and Lily's as well. And really, at the end of the day, when you looked at it, they kind of just agreed to disagree. So I don't know why this kept blowing up to the point that it was, because Lily said, like, all right, you know, we're not going to make any changes. And Powder's like, okay, well, I wish you would make changes, but I'm not going to ask for anything else, right?
Yeah.
So why was this push? Like, it was just, it was over. It could have just been left how it was, right?
Yeah. The thing is, anything that you say, even if you're in the right, kind of makes you out to be like a dramatic. So it's just kind of always a bad look in the end and very rarely worth it. Drama tubers eating good. Dude, this kind of drama doesn't even net us that much views or, you know,
I'm
interaction.
not gonna make a video on this.
It's very mild stuff. Especially because people are getting tired of this. It's not like corporate misbehavior or something very, very... This is just playing on people's emotions and feelings, and it feels more like... It's like more like outrage drama, but the core of it is almost always a nothing burger. And I think audiences, especially our audiences, are becoming more aware of that, and it's like it's turning into some kind of audience fatigue where they're just like, oh, another one of those, okay, another nothing burger, oh, another Google Doc. Like, it's all, they're all the same, and people are getting sick of it.
You wonder why I do these interviews so often, because I'm like, it really is. It's at least there's like I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth as opposed to like, well, you quote retweeted this and added this comment. Like,
Yeah.
no, we're not gonna do that anymore. Like, we're gonna get in the room and actually talk about it.
I like that you're doing these interviews. You're landing a lot of them too.
It's been good. Like, I feel like we all learned something, right? I just realized I said the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I know you did it on purpose. Don't even try.
No, I swear.
I know what you did. I know what you did.
All right, I'm sorry, chat. I'll refund the $10. All right, I'll PayPal you back, chat. Don't worry.
Wait, is it wrong of me to want the drama to be, oh hey, can we get a nice drama? Like, oh look, this VTuber did this amazing good thing. Go look at it. Even if Mr. Beast turned out to be a VTuber and built 100 wells in Africa, people would have a problem with it though. So I don't know. They're gonna find a way to turn this negatively.
It's always that way. It doesn't matter. You could say the rightest thing in the world. You could be like, the sky is blue, and somebody's gonna fight you over it on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Okay. You want to hang out soon, Ilara?
Oh my god, yes. Anytime, girly. I'm going on vacation in mid-August, so I need a little breaky, and then... But yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Probably after that. I'm pretty like packed up until vacation. You know how it goes.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck with your schedule. If you have some
you.
time before your vacation, let me know.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we absolutely have to hang out again.
Okay. I'm glad to have talked to you. Take care.
Me. Yes, bye. Have
Bye.
fun. Bye, chat.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Mwah.